My wife and I are building an ICF house in Woodland Park, Colorado. This week we dig the trench for the waterline. We try to warm up the basement and find our water sleeve. We haul away some excess dirt that was the topsoil of organic material, clean up the lot, try to deal with some light snow. We have the ICF crew come in to help continue the process of getting our walls built and ready to go. Join us. Today is Wednesday, and yesterday we had my son and his family here in town. We took them up the Cog Railway up to the top of Pikes Peak and went out to see my daughter and her family. So it was just a day of really family activities. And so I didn't get a chance to see what they got done. So I'm coming in today. The excavator said he's done. It doesn't appear that is entirely accurate, but we're going to take a look and see what they have done and what they accomplished yesterday. But before further construction updates, I take time to give a driving lesson on the telehandler to my granddaughter, Catlin. A day or two later, I was able to do the same driving lesson to my granddaughter, Aspen. Unfortunately, they had a big pile of rocks in the way, and we really couldn't maneuver much, but we tried our best anyhow. Okay, I think we need some more dirt here, and this needs to come out more. So I don't think that's to grade. I think it slopes too fast here. But they have all the gravel, the rock, inside the slab on grade. Boy, they have mutilated those forms over there. We'll have to take care of that. And it looks like they have the garage done too. That's all good. That'll be fun. Winter is coming. Everything's covered with frost.
Winter is coming.
Fun times. We're right around the corner. All right, let's go take a look at the garage. Yeah, this needs to go out a lot further. We need to get dirt in that depression over there. Need to move the pipes. This is where we need at least one or two retaining walls here. And another mutilated form over here, but that's not quite as bad. And it looks like the two guys as part of the ICF crew, the Bens from North Tech Contracting, they have arrived. We have them for the day. That's dug out for the cut. Just got done cutting out that window door opening, that window opening. have those 3 window openings, as well as that door opening. The guys went over here and put some plywood in that place that was damaged, cut all the foam out, so repaired there. I think they're getting ready to pick up some more block. And that's it. We're still working, so here we go. That's the courtyard. This is the front door. In the garage, we can't do this part until after they dig this out right here. Can't cut this one out because the bucks are too close on the other side. As soon as we move those, we'll be able to cut that out the rest of the way. It's the back porch. That's our progress for end of day Wednesday. Tomorrow's supposed to snow and a little bit of snow on Thursday, and these guys aren't available. So that's pretty much the end of day wrap up for today, for Wednesday. I really need to spend Thursday and Friday when it's supposed to snow on the computer, getting some stuff done as a general contractor, getting stuff scheduled, making some decisions, especially about retaining walls, plumbers, if we're going to do that work ourselves or hire a plumber, or if I'm going to put some additional time and effort into seeing if I can get somebody that can help me by the hour. So that'll be mostly tomorrow. And this is pretty much where it's going to be for this week. Next week, I'm hoping to get these guys here 3 or 4 days so we can get the bracing put on, the rest of the walls done, and get ready to pour in the next couple weeks. So there you go. That's our end of day for Wednesday. It's Friday and our excavator is back digging out the water line that is down there by the front door, the sleeve buried underneath that front door. They originally had it exposed, obviously, when they went to backfill and mistakenly filled it in and compacted it, and so they had to dig it back out, which sucks, but you know, this stuff happens in construction sometimes. Today we're measuring the retaining walls potential. The upper one, which they have kind of abruptly ending here, I think this needs to smooth out, and that needs to be 2-tier going that way. And then one here goes all the way out just past the tractor. And then it looks like, unless we make it into a hill, we need one there as well as the big long one next to the garage.
Pulgadas en la pata larga. 14 pulgadas en la pata larga.
It's Friday the 28th. And here's some aerial shots of the surrounding areas around our house, including the golf course nearby, just down the street. So far, not much snow on the ground. It was a beautiful day. Our excavator began carting off all of the surface material, organic material that was scraped off the lot originally in order for the build. You don't really want to use that anywhere because it's going to decompose, it's going to settle down, and if we needed dirt, we would bring in fresh dirt. But this all had to go, and he loaded up load after load and hauled it away. A couple people have asked what was behind our lot or our view, and as you can see here, just behind our house, the people behind us have a very long driveway that curves around, and their house is actually located back in there, so that there's a portion of the land behind our lot where there is nothing on it but trees, but it's not owned by us. The next day, our excavator continued to haul off load after load of that top organic scrape-off material that was on our lot. While the excavator was taking care of the organic material, Peggy and I spent some time cleaning up the lot. Then we shifted to the basement. We put the propane heater down there to give a little bit of heat, and we started digging. First, we had to remove the mess left by the people that did the drain tile, where they threw the dirt everywhere on top of the rock, and then it subsequently froze to it. And we needed to separate the dirt from the excess gravel. We needed to haul out the excess dirt that was there. And we needed to dig down and find that water sleeve. The ground was so hard, the dirt was so hard that we had to take a hammer to actually use the claw to loosen the dirt so that we could remove it. We use sheets of leftover fast foot or plastic to give us a place to separate dirt piles on versus the gravel, so that we could easily remove it or put it back where it goes. So here's what we're doing today. It's Saturday. It's colder today, but we got the propane heater to make our lives a little better. And we're digging out the water line so that we can put the water line through on Tuesday. And of course, the problem was when they dug out the sump pump, they just piled dirt all over the place. So we've been trying to clean up that mess too by siphoning off the dirt and getting it outside. All right, so today we've been working on two things. The sump pump, when they put it in, they just toss the dirt all over everywhere. So when you, may not look like much, but when you get down close, you'll see, and we've already got the majority of it off. There was probably 8 to 10 inches of dirt just piled on top of the rocks. And of course, the difficulty is if you're not thinking ahead, you don't put it on plastic, so that's dirt, and this is rocks. It makes it really difficult to dispose of it or put it back where it goes because it's all intermixed. And it was frozen to boot. So we had the heater here, DeWalt propane heater, that helped take the edge off. And we found our water sleeve pipe. I may cut it back a little bit. It's leaking a little bit of water, so they may have broken the sleeve in the other end because it was capped. So I'm gonna have to go check that out. We're gonna do that now if we can get to it. It may be Monday when the excavator's back and digging out the sleeve up there before we can actually get to it. But yeah, a lot of work. We're still gonna maybe do a little bit more, but that's where we're at. Monday, December 1st, the day before we scheduled with the city to put in the main water line. The excavator is going to be digging out the rest of the water line trench. This is a very particular process that has to be done very carefully. As you can see right there where the silt fence is, we have all of the utility lines, gas, power, telephone, all right there. So they had to get very careful with the excavator and eventually just get down to the shovels when it got close to the lines. We also had the North Tech contracting crew in to help us get a little further with the ICF. You can see that we did get some snow. Most of that I was able to blow out with the Ego leaf blower and just blow it right out the windows. was a good day in that we had multiple activities going on. The digging of the Waterline trench, the ICF crew working on putting on additional blocks and buck and bracing, and Peggy and I working on some of the items in the basement. Here's where they're starting to dig right where the utility lines are. As you can see, very meticulous, going down just an inch or two at a time, being very, very careful. Of course, we had all the lines marked ahead of time, but that doesn't give you necessarily all the depths. This opening here by the ICF block they're putting up, that is the opening for the stairway going from the main floor down into the basement. It's an L shape that ends at a window down there in the daylight basement. There's Garth. He's laying out some of the wrap that goes onto the bucks because you can't have wood touch the cement. So all of the bucks for the windows and doors have to be wrapped with this material to prevent it from contacting the cement when the walls are poured. Chris Ames with Bob Ames Excavating, very experienced. His dad was Bob Ames, was very experienced for years in the business and very meticulous, had a nice checklist, was very thoughtful on what exactly needed to transpire to make sure everything was smooth, and coordinating with the city, with traffic control, with getting the water tap done, getting the street patched with a hot patch. Once we were done getting the street cleaned up, there's just a lot of things that go into it that had to be coordinated, and he and I worked together. But he's done this before, and he wanted to ensure that things went smooth. It was great to see such an experienced crew using hand signals and to indicate all the subtleties of exactly what they needed to do in very small increments. With those precise hand signals, they can communicate. So professional, awesome to see. Last, I'll share these images I tried to capture of the snow blowing off the top of Pikes Peak elevation 14,115 feet. And that's where we're going to leave you this week. Next week, we will be having our water line put in, and the rest of our main floor windows and door bucks also will be going in. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and leave us your feedback and comments if you could, please. We'll see you next time.